Back to our coverage now on the mass shooting at Florida State University. Tonight we are learning more about the suspected shooter, Phoenix Ikner. He's believed to be a Florida State student and the stepson of a deputy. The Leon County Sheriff says he used his stepmother's weapon, a handgun, to carry out the attack. Authorities say the stepmother purchased her former service weapon and added that it was her personal property at the time of the shooting. A motive, though, still has not been identified. So let's talk now with our crime and safety analyst, Ken Jefferson, and we appreciate your being here. Let's talk about what the motive might be. And everybody always asks about mental health background. So we have learned this in documents from the Leon County Sheriff today. Possibly a rocky time for Ikner, and back in 2015, he was 11 years old. There was a custody battle. His biological mom found guilty of kidnapping him and taking him to her home country of Norway. His father said his son had, quote, several health and mental issues. So here's the question. Was there ever an obligation for his stepmom or anybody else? What constitutes an obligation to raise a red flag?
Well, you know, with a custody battle going on and a child is in the middle of it, he doesn't know what's actually happening other than the fact that he may feel that he's not wanted by a particular parent. And so he's right in the middle of all these things. So the dad has already said that he had some psychological issues or mental issues. Unless he was exhibiting something here recently prior to this shooting, or a few months prior to the shooting, that he wanted to harm himself or harm somebody else, it's really hard to raise a flag, because, you know, he was active. He was actively involved with the police department. He was a college student. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody actually saw this coming. So the police is going to have to dig deep into his background and see exactly what they uncover. But as far as an obligation by the parent, unless he's exhibiting those kind of behavior, or he's writing out that he wants to shoot and kill people or hurt himself, then there's no need to alert anybody.
So let's talk about that motive. People are still asking, well, why? Why did he did it? Why did he do that? What would you say? What are police going to do now to try to figure out what the motive is?
They're going to dig very deep into his background. They're going to talk to all of his friends. They're going to go back a few years, even though his incidents with the custody battle was about 10 years ago. They're going to go back and they're going to talk to the biological mother. They're going to do all their due diligence to try to figure out why in the world would this young man, who seemed to have been promising and having a promising future, would just randomly take a gun and start shooting people. That's not common. That's unheard of. Usually when we see active shooters like this going to campuses on high schools or elementary schools, in this case colleges, there's usually some real reason, a real rhyme and reason why they're doing it. Psychological issues, mental health issues, they're depressed, they've been bullied, they've been pushed around, they feel that they're not worthy of anything. They usually have some type of ulterior motive. This kid does not fit that profile at all, so the police have their work cut out for them.
All right, Kim, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much
Sure.
for being with us all day yesterday and today, too.
Sure.
Anthony?